Hello friends, I'm Justine, the Shaky Stitcher, here on Flosstube and Instagram. This is a channel about cross stitch where I go into a deep dive of my personal stitching. A little bit about me, I know I haven't shared this in the past, but a little bit about me. I'm 28 years old, I live in Crete, Nebraska, and I started stitching in 2022. So not that long ago. I'm a relatively baby stitcher. So if you see my first video, you know I'm not a monogamous stitcher. I've got about 20 whips. Let's see. I've got my notes here in front of me. And then that's all I had for intro. Let's jump right into my whips. Today I have 5 whips, 3 new starts, and unfortunately 2 UFOs to show. So let's start off with number 1. This is Friendly Lemurs. Let me get my card out. By Owl Forest Embroidery. It's on 18 count tea-dyed Aida. Should show you. And it's 103 by 119 in 5 colors. I started this 6/11 of 2024. It's one of my recent new starts. And this is what I have. Look at that Aida. That's beautiful. All I did since the last time you've seen this, let's see if I can switch, is this line here. I don't have any stats for this since I'm doing a paper pattern. And yeah, I was in a meeting and I needed something to stitch on, and that's all I got, all the further I got. The meeting was about an hour long and I was paying attention to the meeting. I'm sure it probably didn't look like it to the people that were in the meeting, because I was like, look at them and then look at the stitch. Look at them and then look at the stitch. So I had full intentions of picking this back up and getting more progress on it, but it just wasn't calling my name. So that's that one. Turn my notes here. The next whip that I have, I've got them all piled up here next to me, is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. I didn't get much progress on this either. Actually, most of my whips, I didn't get much stitching done on them. I have a card in here somewhere. Had I prepared better, it's stuck in my flosses, I think. Nope, okay, we'll go without. Here it is. It's on 28 count Carolina linen from the craft store, and it's 1/1, and it's looking so cute and little. Last time you seen this, I had the house, I had the pumpkin patch, which, look at that cute little pumpkin patch. Isn't that adorable? I had the tree, this bird, and all I've put in is this border up here. These stars, the moon, and then the little bulbous parts of these. I think they're acorns, maybe? I'm not sure. It's coming together wonderfully. I love this piece. I'll probably say that about all of them because I don't work on things that I don't love. You'll see that later. And yeah, I don't know, since I don't have my card, I don't have how big it is or how many colors it has. But we'll move right along. Yeah, worked on the 2 borders, the stars and the moon. Okay, up next, also a pitiful amount of work. Actually, that's the wrong thing. I'm working out of the wrong pile here. This is Fala'a. Let's see if I can find the card for this one. Last time I put my cards in the front, and I see now that was a big benefit. Oh, there it is. Stuck between my working copy. Okay, this is Lola Crow Cross Stitch, 18 count tea-dyed Aida. Again, a lot of my stuff is on tea-dyed Aida. I've got a hanging thread. It is 81 by 51 in 13 colors. I started this November 30th of 2023. And here's my little possum. Oh, it's blowing out. We're in a different spot today, so my lighting might be different. All that I did on this guy was I put in his little face. He's got lots of back stitching that needs to be done. Like this bobble needs to have a little string holding it to his tail. And that's all I did on this guy. This one is not calling my name. I thought, oh, for Jolly July or Christmas in July, I would surely want to get this out. And I haven't. You'll see I actually started some different Jolly July or Christmas in July things. Okay, and then last for whips. This should be a quick video. Maybe not. We'll see. Get my little card here. This is Prophetic Poppy by Noctiflora Designs. If I hold it up for you. It is a rose with an eyeball, and there's some other doodads, I believe, here and here that I need to add. The eye is looking amazing. And this was one that I needed to trust the process on because I had chosen this dark blue color. I didn't have all the colors, and I wasn't going to go out and buy the colors. Not realizing that it was also in the flower. And I wasn't sure about it. But I think it's turning out well. I filled in some reds in the flower and filled in the eyeball. They're still in the white. There's some white stitches and some gray stitches that go in. But I think it's looking good so far. This is on that 28 count linen, Carolina linen from the craft store. It's 1/1. I love doing 1-on-1 on 28 count. And anything smaller 1-on-1. 1/1. This is 92 by 120 and has 12 colors. I started it February 5th of 2024. And that's it for that one. Put my little card away. New starts. So, oh, it's not in the hoop. Let's see. I've got it in this little project bag. This is Tiny Stitching. Kaylee Cross Stitch sent out tiny, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. Okay. Sorry. And I don't edit, so that'll be in my video. That's lovely. She sends out tiny stitching kits. Want to watch her video and her latest video. I don't think she's posted one since. She goes, in fabulous detail of all of her tiny stitching or some of her tiny stitching by size. And it's really cool. And she'll send you a tiny stitching kit. And I've got some other materials, but this is the pattern that she sends. And I can't show like a cover image of the pattern, I don't believe. Let's look. Let's look, because I might have, it might just be the, yep, what I have printed out is just the pattern. But it's Kissing Frogs. Let's see if we can get it to focus. That's probably as focused as we're gonna get it. Let's see. It's 2 kissing frogs, a heart, some bugs, and then some vines. I'm working on the vines. I actually have to pull this one out because this piece here is supposed to be down here. So I'm going to pull this vine out. There's a big flower right here, and then on the other side, and then I've got all the red on this side to do, and then it's done. Let's see what I have written down for this. So Kissing Frogs Mini by Star Parade on Etsy. I started this 6/20, so recently, and have completed 452 stitches. This is on a 40 count, and I didn't look up the name of the fabric, but it's on a 40 count 1/1, and I love it. It's so tiny and cute. I've got a little hoop for it. Let's show you. Little tiny hoop that it works in. I don't think I'll be able to finish it in this hoop, but that's okay because then I have a working hoop to do more tiny stitching on. What else do I have? So the red, so you use, oh, I just tangled them. Look, oh no. You use a Verissois Surfine, which is a smaller silk thread. Let's see if I can get this untangled gently. Okay, and this is 2524, a Verissois Surfine, and it's beautiful. So that's for the flowers. Then I have a Verissois Surfine $26.56, and that's the vine. And then Gloriana Tudor Silk Highland Garden for the variegated. Now this is a monochromatic design, usually I believe, and so it would look beautiful monochromatic. But I really like, this is my first time using a variegated thread in those frogs, and it's beautiful. So that's what I've got about that. I've got about 452 stitches. It's 1/1, and it's 93 by 41, so it's very little. Okay, get that zipped up and out of the way. So the hashtag for this is hashtag trying tiny stitches, and I need to post on there. I posted the kit that she sent me with a white 56 count and a green Avera Soie. Since then I've got different materials. I'm reading my notes here. Since then I've got different materials, but I will post probably later today on my Instagram under that hashtag trying tiny stitches, because I really want people to try it. It is so much fun. If you can see it for 1/2, then you can see it for 1/1. The next thing that I started, this is a hashtag giant butterfly Sal, hosted by Mega Stitches and Jen's Fiber Web. I've got a blown up picture of it that's kind of cut off on the edges. There's a little more on the edges. That's essentially what it's going to look like. I did not do the called for threads. I just picked from stash whatever was closest. And here it is. So yeah, this is hashtag giant butterfly Sal. I've got a little bit over here, fill in this little triangle, and then I've got those giant butterflies. Oh, and I have a whole flower here. I worked really hard on this for, I think, 3 days, and then I was like, whoa, I need to put this down. What else do I have written down on here? It's 101 by 63, so it's not big. I started on June 30th when the Sal started, and right now I have 1,774 stitches in this. This is on a 28 count Monaco from the craft store that I tea dyed. I love tea dyeing. I mean, if you've never tea dyed, you should try it, because at the craft store, a lot of what's available is white. I don't think my craft store even sells black anymore. When I first started, I got Black Ada from Joann's, but I don't see it anymore when I go. Maybe it's just out of stock. But they have 28 count Monaco, 28 count Carolina linen, and then like 14 and 18 and 16 count. So that's what I have. The colors are beautiful. I wish these weren't in floss away bags so I could show you just how beautiful these are. That's on one of my alien floss drops. That's on a bobbin. This tells you how long I've had these colors. I bobbinated in the very beginning when I had a very small stash, and then I quickly realized that's not what I wanted to do. This one I have like 3 different floss away bags in it, because before I started organizing them in order, I just, as I kitted up, I made a floss away bag for the floss, and that didn't work out. I'll show you. I've got the colors from Away We Ride. It shares this 3045. So I just have these. The last one I worked on was the giant butterfly Sal. So they're in the giant butterfly Sal bag. Aren't those beautiful? Okay, so move that. We are moving right along. Move that. Another new start that I have that I started last night. I made these notes for my floss tube 2 nights ago. I just haven't had a chance to film. So this is a new start. I'm gonna see if I can fold this so that you can't see the pattern. But it's by the Blue Flower. It's Christmas Hippo. Original design by Janine. Is it Janine or Jean? Janine McGowan. We're going Janine McGowan. Very popular designer, so if I got that wrong, I'm sorry. It's on 28 count. Monaco, tea-dyed. I love the modeling on this one. And I have 52 stitches. I'm going to work on this more today. This is going to be for Christmas in July or Jolly July stitching. Let's see the colors in here. Very simple colors. It's sharing this 22 with another start that I'm planning. 3865, 3371, 3064 for his tummy, and 8. You can't really see the color because of the glare. But yeah, that's those. That one I don't have in my notes because I started it last night. A planned start. Let's do that in plans. So I've got to take a drink. Let's see. Okay. You don't realize how much talking you can do in 15 minutes. I've got 2 UFOs. They're by the same designer, and it's a designer that I've chosen not to support anymore. Oh, I didn't grab. Hopefully it's right here. I'm in my stitchy spot. Normally I sit on the floor with this buffet counter behind me with all my pretty plants and stuff. I moved my pretty plants here to my, I think it's called a butler window. I don't know. It's fancy. But it's a plant shelf. Okay, I've got both my UFOs. They're by the same designer. I no longer wish to support this designer. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But unfortunately, it's my tiny stitching. I hate to UFO this, but am I showing you the back? No, that's the front. I just have a hanging thread. Let's move that to the back. Memento Mori. I might try to frog this and save the fabric, but the stitches are really tiny. It's on 56 count, 1/1. And when you look, this is, oh no, I can't get it open. This is the smallest seam ripper that I have. And compared to the stitches on this, it's gigantic. So I may try. I mean, what's the harm in trying? But if I can save the fabric, that would be wonderful. The next was a new start that I was very excited about. Here it is. It's called Dancing Witches. Yeah, I made a lot of progress on this, and I'm very disappointed that I'm no longer going to be stitching it. But I just had to make a decision, and my decision was to no longer stitch by this designer. So, I don't think I'm going to be able to save that fabric. Unfortunately, that's on 18 count tea-dyed. On my 18 count tea-dyed Ada, I'm having a problem where the needle is making a mark after I frog. You can see the holes. And I had this problem on my Greenhouse of Oddities, so I'm going to have to restart that as well on a different fabric. Because where I frogged, you can see the holes. And somebody had told me to use a clean, dry toothbrush and rub it over, and it would get those like fibers out of it, the black fibers off the fabric, which is a great idea. But unfortunately, it's the actual hole is being made bigger. I'm using a 28 count needle. I always say 28 count needle. Size 28 needle. On 18 count. If you have a recommendation for like a smaller needle, my next smallest needle is like a teeny tiny beading needle for the 56 count and 40 count, but that's way too small and way too flimsy to be working on 18 count with. So If you have any recommendations of a needle to use on, it's pretty tight, 18 count, that isn't going to damage my fabric so I can frog where I need to and not be left with like giant holes in the corners of my squares. I wish I could show you. Maybe I'll show you after I get all this junk off the... I have like a footstool that opens up and has all this storage in it, and that's where I keep all my whips. But there's those. I'm no longer going to be working on those. I had 1,682 stitches in that Dancing Witches. Then the last thing I have in my notes is plan starts, and I crossed all of them out because I changed my mind. These were all Jolly in July. I had like Christmas Ghost, Funny Christmas Tree, and then a Christmas Garland Ghost. I like ghosts. And I've got a thing for cross-stitching ghosts, and I bought a lot last year and never worked on them. But I got the free pattern from the Blue Flower of the Christmas Hippo, and then I also got, I'm going to fold this so you can't see the pattern. This is from Owl Forest Embroidery, I believe. Yes, Owl Forest Embroidery. It is, I didn't print the whole thing. They're Christmas ornaments. It's free on their website. It is 34 by 54. I'm doing this, or I'm going to do this on a 14 count black Ada. I should show you the pattern. Look at this creepy owl. His eyes. My son says he's not creepy, but I think he's kind of creepy and I like it. So I'm going to start him soon. I'm going to start him on 14 count black Ada. And if you've noticed, I don't do a lot of margin on my Ada or my linen because I don't generally finish my pieces. I've got like the pile of shame that just kind of languishes in the cabinets here. But I think I want to scrapbook my pieces. Who else does that? Stitching by the Seashore, Stitching by the Shore. I'm not sure. She scrapbooks her pieces, and so they're smaller. They don't have a ton of margin on them. I do about 1 inch on each side, sometimes half an inch, because I really want to save fabric. The 3 inches on each side just seems like a ridiculous amount of fabric to me. But yeah, I'm gonna start him. He's very cute. And that's all I really have for Plan New Starts, whips, UFOs, all of that. I did go to a couple of thrift stores yesterday and got some amazing yet not things I'm going to start kits. So I'll show those here. This says candle wicking. Is candle wicking a type of stitching? Or is that a brand? This is Chrysanthemum Pillow. Oh, and it smells like old ladies. Something Special is the branding on it. Candemar Designs. Candle wicking thread. Yeah, it must be what it's called. I've never heard of that. Oh, and of course the sun came to visit us. There we go. It's beautiful. Look at that. It's like a mix between embroidery and there's French knots and there's, well, I don't know if they're French knots, but I haven't unfolded this yet. Oh, and there's a needle in it. I hate when they leave needles, and it's a huge needle. Look at this thing. That's a big old needle. But it's all lined out. Got the pattern on it. Both sides are the same. And it comes with the floss. It looks brand new. There's some greens, some blues, some pinks, and a lot of white. And then it has the lace that goes around the edges of the pillow. So I think that's awesome. I may sell this. If anybody wants this, let me know and we can work something out. I'm not going to learn how to do this. I am cross-stitched through and through. I have embroidery kits, and I can't wrap my brain around it. These are super cute. Okay. Country Linen Scents Country Bunny. And they're like little satchels that you put, looks like potpourri in. You can still buy potpourri at like different craft stores. It's a little bunny, and it comes with the linen, and there's a gosh darn needle in there. Comes with the linen, and it comes with the floss. This was at Craft Village, $2.99, so great price. Comes with the floss for this little bunny. There we go. I love that. So I'm probably going to stitch this one. Now the other two, which I also would have loved to stitch more than the bunny. Home Sweet Home. And this one I really love. Country Goose. And these are done. So I'll show you these. I did not stitch these. Look at this goose. Oh, it's beautifully done. I love this. I will probably frame this. It's so little and cute. And if there was more floss, I would have room to do it. And I may get my own floss. This looks like it was 2 over... I can't really tell. 2 over 2 on this linen. I would do mine 1 over 1. If that worked. I don't know if there's fractionals or... It doesn't look like it. I love this. Let's show the Home Sweet Home. I think this one's done. Can't quite remember. Oh no, this one's not done. So there's another one I can do. But it comes on this yellow with a gosh darn needle in it. And these beautiful colors. And there's a ribbon in here. Ribbon and these beautiful colors. I love that. So these weren't in my notes, but I got them last night at Goodwill. I went to this story time. I went to this like antique junk store. They have everything, and there's a little craft section, and it's usually just sewing patterns, but I've gotten cross stitched there before. And this time they had, I think at 50 cents a skein is what I calculated at. It was about $20 worth of floss. So is that 40 skeins? I think there was like 42 skeins. And then at Joann's they have the journals that you can cross stitch on the front of. And new, those are about $15. They had 2 of those. And some wooden cross stitch hearts that you could cross stitch on. They had a pack of those. And then they had more satchels. They had a pack of 3 satchels. I don't remember what the patterns were, but I thought it would be perfect for bring out your kids sale. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this. And last time that I bought cross stitch there, I paid like $4 for like some frames. Where'd that frame go? Some frames like this. This one I got at Goodwill. And they were bigger. Some frames, some patterns, a kit, and yeah, paid like $4. So I take this floss. It's like a handful of floss, these 2 notebooks, and the wooden hearts and the satchels. I take them up there and I'm like, okay, what do you want for these? Thinking that she would want $10, $15. She counts each floss individually, and she comes back with $40 for the lot. And I was like, I'm just going to have to leave it. I apologize that I drug all this up here, but I'm just gonna have to leave it. That's like retail price for me. Yeah. So I was really sad that I had to leave those things, but I did get these other things. So here's a hoop. I love this hoop. They just pop out. And I think I'm going to be able to finish one of my smalls in here. I've got a possum, a strawberry possum from Mama Witch X Stitch. So I think I'm going to be able to finish it in here. It's beautiful. I've got 2 more kits. This is an Afghan. This is cross stitch. Afghan cloth. It is poinsettia table runner 50514. And here's what it looks like. Not a very great picture. It is finished size 22 by 58 inches. It comes with all the floss. Look at this beautiful floss. It's got an odor. Not a bad odor, but a musk, like, perfume odor. It smells like old ladies. And then it comes with this whole big Afghan. And the edges are fraying, but I notice in the picture, I'm not worried, in the picture, they fray the edges on purpose. Yeah, that's that kit. I don't think I'm going to stitch it. I'm glad I have it. If you're curious about maybe you would stitch it, let me know. I'll see what we can do. I've never sent anything at the post office. I am a millennial. Right at the tail end of that. But I am. And I've never, like, gone into the post office and sent something and figured out how much that would cost. And these are kind of big. So, I don't know what it would cost. Next up, I think this is a Cruel kit. I don't know what that means, but it's Alice in Wonderland. It's gonna blow out because the sun just came out. Let's see if we can take it out. I didn't open any of these, they were already open. There we go. Look at those bunnies. How cute. Okay. Frame size without mat, 16 by 12. It's big. It comes with these giant and not so giant threads, yarns. I'm not sure. Yeah, these are, I think, 6-stranded. Yeah, 6-stranded. And these big yarn pieces. And then, I don't know if I'm supposed to show this. I'm sorry if I'm not, but I'm going to. I'll just show part of it. It's got, like, the pattern, and it's printed. It's got, like, the girl printed already. And then you just do the bunnies. And, like, this thing. This little tie on her. And some of the stuff in her basket. And I am not going to learn a new craft. So, yeah. But they were all in a bag together at Goodwill. And I seen that tiny frame in those little satchels. And I really wanted them. Oh, come on. And then this one really got my hopes up for Bring Out Your Kit Sal. A Bucilla kit. Bucilla? I'm not sure. Look how beautiful those ducks are. I've got a thing for ducks. Cross-stitching ducks. Pair of geese. 6x9. And it comes with... Oh, I forgot. Okay. Comes with the floss that is stapled to the front of the kit. Oh no! It's needled to the front. It's pinned to the front with of the kit. How clever. So I'd have to sort through this. Comes with the pattern. And I was like, oh my gosh, the fabric's in there. And there's a needle hanging. And I have no idea. Did you just tie this on here? Oh no, the tail is just as long as the thread. It has started. So that's one of the ducks. The unfortunate part is they put a needle through a way too large needle. I don't know if this is what came with the kit, but it is a thick boy. A thick boy needle. They put the needle into the fabric and left it there for so many years that the fabric is damaged on both sides. I don't want to wash this and see if I can get those holes to kind of close up, because it'll bleed into the stitches. I've had vintage Black Ada that bled everywhere, and I had already stitched all over it, and it ruined my stitches. So I would hate to rip this out. The stitches are beautiful. I would hate to rip it out. I'm just pausing on this. I would love to do this pattern. I don't think I'd choose 14 count for it, which is, I'm pretty sure it's 14 count. But yeah, it's lovely. It's just got the damage from the needle being left in there. And it's damage. The holes are stretched quite big. So any recommendations on potentially how to fix that damage or anything like that, let me know, because I would love to stitch this pattern. Oh, I put it in there backwards. I just want to show it again because it's so beautiful. Look at these ducks. Oh, so lovely. So now that I have quite the big mess around me, I think that's the end of my video. That's not too bad for time. I've got everything shown, and that's all you do in Flosstube is you show all your stuff. So that was haul, a little bit of impromptu haul, not in my notes haul. I do write out my notes, so if you see me looking down, it's because my brain doesn't work. So I think that's it. I should have wrote an conclusion. I should tag anybody that I mentioned. I should have written down anybody that I mentioned, but I'll just watch it again. And yeah, everything should be in the description box below, and you guys have happy stitching. Thank you.